Hey, church family. I hope you're having a great day. I wanted to share a couple things with you. Last week, I had the opportunity to go to our state's discipleship conference with other ministers of education. If I remember correctly, it was the first time that I had been able to go to this conference since 2013. It was great to catch up with old friends as well as make new friends. I got to participate in several conversations just on the side as well. And I was talking to a friend, and I was able to share with him how God had just been doing so many great things at Lakeshore. I admit it, we've been through some challenges. Getting through COVID hasn't been as easy as we would have liked for it to be. But if I'm honest, a lot of churches were still struggling with the impact that COVID's had on them. But I was telling one of my friends that I felt like over the last 18 months or so that God had been doing some incredible work, some incredible thing at Lakeshore amongst its people, our people. I told him, I said, it feels like God caused revival. I couldn't pin it on any single person or event, but I was just sharing that with the challenges what we had been going through, that it felt like God had just been talking to individual people and causing them to renew their commitments to Him and to the membership of Lakeshore and to the new people that had been coming and even the ones joining. And it had just been so much fun to be a part of what God was doing over the last 18 months. You know, I got to share that testimony last week. I hope that as a member of the church, you feel that way too and are able to share that testimony and more with your friends and loved ones about our church. You know, as I got to thinking about it, I see the words of Jesus in John 15:12 through 14 being lived out in our church. In those verses, Jesus said, "This is my commandment, that you love one another, just as I have loved you. Greater love has no one than this, that they lay down his life for his friends. You are my friends if you do what I command." Jesus often repeats in the New Testament, the New Covenant, this theme of love in his teachings. Love is a fruit of the Spirit. It's an action. It's not a feeling. He seems to be possibly making a figurative reference to the cross in this verse. He's telling his disciples that it's his special type of self-giving love that he wants them to exhibit to others. And I see this happening at our church as we do life together, as we share in each other's joys and challenges. Jesus went on and he said, "Greater love has no one than this, that one lay down his life for his friends." And I think he was referring vicariously to a substitutionary, that's a big word for me to say, substitutionary atonement for our sins on the cross. When Jesus died on the cross, he demonstrated for all believers that love is action oriented. That's what disciples are to do. Disciples are to submit their own desires and their own wants for what's better for other believers, for the common good of us all. Better said, my preferences shouldn't take priority over what's good for the whole church, right? And I see that happening at Lakeshore right now, don't you? I have heard people talk about it or Thanksgiving banquet of how they're just so excited to see others coming and that they're willing to move their seat, join in, park farther away, whatever they got to do to see God keep working at this time. And I'm so excited about that. This passage, Jesus closes by telling his disciples, "You are my friends if you do what I command you." He told them that the condition for friendship with him is obedience. Jesus abided in the Father and remained in his love. Therefore, as disciples, we must remain in Jesus through obedience to his will and not ours. I pray that all of us will protect the unity of Lakeshore by remaining obedient to God and committed to the spiritual growth of themselves and our fellow church members. I know this. I love being in a place where I see God working in so many lives. It's a great place for us right now. And I pray for myself that I keep my heart focused on God and that I don't let my personal preference cause me to do anything that would interfere with God is doing. Church, I need you in my life. I need you to help me on my spiritual journey. And I desire to be in your life and to help you in your journey of faith. Church, I love you and I look forward to seeing you on Sunday. I hope you have a blessed weekend.